guys, welcome back to Ashley's Homestead Adventures. And today we are going to do a winter sowing project. I have a whole stack of seeds here, and I'm going to do a few of them with you. This is my first year doing this, so I'm not an expert, but it is something that's really cool. It's a way for us to get our hands in the dirt, and I have seen people be very successful with this method, so I'm going to give it a try. I am in zone 7B in Arkansas. So a lot of these things that I'm starting now, if they do succeed, by the time they outgrow their area in these jugs, I will hopefully be able to plant them out in the garden. Our last frost date is sometime the end of March, and of course we'll keep a close eye on that. But for now, these little guys will be in their own little greenhouse in a milk jug, or as you can see, I have some of these really large jugs. So how do you come across, if you don't have a big family, I don't have a big family, how do you come across getting milk jugs? One of the ideas, and something that I did, was I went down to my local cafe and I asked them if they would save any clear jugs that they used in their restaurant and hold them back for me. And so they did, and I go down, they call me when they have a few, and I go down and I pick them up and bring them home and wash them, and then I just store them and wait until it's time to start planting some seeds. Coffee shops are a really good one, so I've heard. I don't have a coffee shop in my little town, so the cafe works great for me, and I do appreciate them very much. But so for now, what we're going to do is, I do have some Salvia that I am going to plant. Petunia, lace veil, and we'll start some snapdragons. Now, snapdragons, I have noticed, are extremely finicky, and so I'm not sure if they're going to work in this situation, but we're going to give it a try. And this is the Oriental Lanterns variety. So basically, I'm going to do a little tutorial here. What you will need is, you will need your pre-moistened soil, a milk jug, duct tape, a box knife, your plant tags. I like to label inside and outside of the jug, just in case for whatever reason something gets worn off, and a Sharpie. So let's get into it. This is how we do it. First things first, you can take the cap off the milk jug. I save them just in case I'm gonna have a really wet spell, and I can see that my seedlings are getting too saturated. I don't want them dampening off, so sometimes I just go ahead and I put the lid on the milk jug to keep any more moisture, if we're going to have a ton of rainy days, from getting in there and soaking it, even more. Another thing that I have noticed is, I used to puncture just 4 holes in the bottom of the milk jug, but I have actually found that sometimes that isn't enough. So I'm actually this time going to do 5. So puncture your 5 holes in the bottom, and then what you're going to do is, you're going to start at the handle here, and you're just going to cut this milk jug all the way around. Be very careful. I know that somebody is going to yell at me for cutting towards myself. And then you have a milk jug that opens. Okay. Then you put your soil in. Let's see. Okay. And then I'm going to open the Snapdragon. Take my gloves off here. It's cold out here, you guys, so I had my gloves on. And this says sow indoors. So this is what the instructions on the back of the packet say. And mind you, the backs of our packets don't have anything pertaining to winter sowing, usually. So winter sowing is a gamble. You're basically creating a miniature unheated greenhouse that sits outside. So this is a gamble. I would not recommend, sowing your very last seeds in winter sowing unless you know you're going to be successful at it. And so this packet says sow indoors 8 to 10 weeks before last frost. Requires light to germinate. So that means that we are not going to bury the seed. We are simply going to stick it on top of the soil, and that is it. Bottom water or mist lightly to avoid covering the seed. Pinch young plants back will encourage more blooms and bushier plants. So, holy cannoli, these are tiny. Now, I am just going to plop a few seeds, and I'm going to do the square inch method here, and I am basically going to plant 1 or 2 seeds per square inch of this container and see how that works out. Add 1 little extra seed. There we go. So that in total in that gave me 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 spots that I planted 2 or 3 seeds in. So potentially this could grow 24 to 30 seedlings if it works. So then we're going to cover it back up just like so, and then I'm going to take our duct tape Oh, it sucks when it tears like that. And I'm just going to start over here. And going to wrap it all the way around. Push it down. I didn't get a long enough piece, and that's okay. I just like working with shorter pieces. It's okay if you double them up, and the shorter pieces are just a little easier to manage. Okay, now, oh no, I didn't put a label on the inside. Shame on me. Real time, guys. This is real time. So this is the Snapdragon. And it is the Oriental lantern. And there you have it. Today is 2/2. Okay, so there I have it. There is my little mini greenhouse, and this guy goes outside. Okay, let's do one of these big ones. Let's see, take the lid off. I'm gonna go about halfway. I'm just going to cut to where I have about an inch in the center. Let's try that. Oh, that'll be fine. So I left about an inch and a half maybe. And I'm gonna see if that will work. And it will. But I can see I didn't get this corner all the way. There we go. So down it goes. Put some soil in. And you don't have to fill these containers all the way up to the top here. I'm not going to. It's a lot of soil. And it will make it really heavy. And we don't need it to be that heavy. These are not going to stay in here for very long. So the idea of winter sowing is that your seeds will germinate when they feel it is their time to germinate. It's letting Mother Nature kind of sort of decide, but you're also giving them a little bit warmer of an environment, so you're giving yourself a little bit of a jump start. And it's hands-free. You don't have to water them, you don't have to babysit them, you don't have to put them under grow lights. And for me, that's a big deal this year because, you know, hashtag starting a new farm, I don't have my infrastructure for starting seeds. I don't have a greenhouse. I don't have my seed starting racks or my, you know, my lights hooked up anywhere to be able to start my seedlings the traditional way. So this is a great way for me to do this and hopefully get something. Okay, we are going to start the Petunia lace veil. And these say surface sow. Keep uniformly moist and very warm. Grow the tiny seedlings indoors for 8 to 10 weeks and set out after last frost. Pinching your shoots makes for a more compact habit. So, holy cannoli. You know your seeds are tiny when they come inside a bag, inside an envelope, which, FYI, Baker Creek is awesome. Okay, so because these seeds are so tiny, you guys, I'm just going to totally wing this. And I'm going to wow. I was gonna say I'm going to literally just, there we go, sprinkle them all over. And that is precisely what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm not going to cover them up. I'm going to stick my plant tag in there. Oh no. So, what do you do if you forget to put your holes in the bottom? Well, I'm going to show you what you do. You move it out to the very edge of your table, like so, right? And then you poke your holes in it from the edge of your table. Oh, jeez. Boy. There. Now, all of my holes are poked on all four corners. Okay. Let's see if I can do this one all the way through the correct way. Okay. So this one is the Salvia. And cool thing about this is, you guys, is that it doesn't have to be pretty. It's all about the function. Put our soil in. Let's see if I can get that tip over. I'm gonna move my plant tags. All right, that's good. Salvia, Rose Rhapsody. So these are going to be a perennial for me once I put them in the garden. Sow seeds 1/16 of an inch below the surface of the soil. Keep moist until germination. Start indoors 6 weeks before the last frost date. Prefers full sun. Thrives in mild humidity and well-drained soil. Let's see. More teeny tiny seeds. So I'm just going to take my pen and just divot just barely divot and try to drop just one seed in each hole. I aim for one and figure I get 2 or 3, especially when the seeds are so tiny. And there's a ton of things that you can, I was watching, who was I watching? I was watching Jill at Whispering Willow start seeds last night. And she had a really cool, she does market flower gardening, and she had a really cool little seed. It looked like a seed separator, and it was for these really tiny seeds. She could put her seeds in there and then kind of wiggle them around until they all got to a certain spot, and then she could hold it over her seedling trays or her soil blocks and just open up the slide and it would plant them. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is super cool. Okay, now I'm going to get my plant tag. Got that on the back. Whoops. Cross out common oregano and write Salvia, Rose, Wrap, City. Okay, which put my plant tag in, put the lid on, take the cap off, put it in the drawer. And tape it. It's as simple as that, you guys. And hopefully we will have cute little baby flowers whenever they decide that it's a good time to pop their little heads up, which I'm hoping is going to be within a month. Is my hope that I'll see seedlings. And that's the cool thing about this, is they come when they decide that the weather is right for them. They're already hardened off, and it's awesome. Okay, and they're labeled. So there you go, you guys. It's that easy. Get your hands in the dirt and get some winter sowing done. It's fun, it's great. And we'll keep our fingers crossed and see what pops up in our jugs. Happy planting and gardening to you guys. I hope you had a beautiful day. Yours truly.